Unless you're blissfully unaware, you've probably seen the news on social media about the amount of people who have their lives changed. It's being made redundant, something that nobody would ever imagine or want to happen to them and those close to them. But here we are. Esports is currently under fire, but I thought I would shed maybe potentially a positive light about how gaming changed my life. An industry that a lot of people have questions about why we work in it, but at the end of the day, it's pure passion, love for the game. Nothing else really that you can say about it. This could potentially be considered its curse because a lot of people do feel the need to give their undedicated time, love, and appreciation to an industry that potentially does not always reciprocate that feeling. But at the end of the day, here we are. So my story particularly started from a very young age, which I think a lot of us can relate to. I wasn't that young, to be fair. I was more in my teenage years, but I moved out a lot as a child, and as a result, never really had the ability to have a stable friendship group. Gaming was my opportunity to do so. It was my opportunity to build a community, build a friendship group, and have friendships that have lasted for close to 10 years. And these are some of the people that I trust with my life. But they were just strangers that I met on the internet. Stranger danger! So stranger danger is not always actually right. I then moved to the UK around the age of 16, and I actually moved here without speaking a single lick of English. Like, I was like, hi, hello, how are you? And that was about it. But having that exposure to gaming and having that exposure to meeting people online had given me the opportunity to learn the language a lot quicker. And here I went as someone who got told to not apply to any universities when in high school because she wouldn't make it, to someone who actually went on to a top 10 business school in the world and graduated with 69%. And then went on to be a tech consultant. I'm not saying that this is all because I played video games, but having that stability and that opportunity to learn English was a really big push and driver for me, because at school I always felt lonely due to the fact that I couldn't communicate with anyone. But back home I always knew that once I finished my homework and I was able to log onto my PC, I had something that I could call mine. And that might have been my dog shit water low inting vein gameplay, but please don't bring her to me. Penta, 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 penta. Yes! He's busy lemon fucking squeezy. Sheesh. My elo, by the way, this is my elo, but it was still mine, and it still made me make friends, so it was always great. Once I got into university though, I really focused on my studies and I dropped gaming because I saw it more as a distraction than something that I could do in my free time. And although this might have potentially been the right call because it allowed me to work part-time, be in society while keeping up my grades, it was something that I always missed and yearned for. So come COVID, again, a story that a lot of us can relate to, and I'm right back where I started, in front of my desktop trying to make it in solo queue, and also on twitch.tv as a streamer. But being on Twitch, I think, comes with a lot of difficulties when you're a smaller streamer and also when you're a woman. Whether it is getting clipped while you're getting out of your chair or basically people hating you for penis diff. Nothing really that you can change, but still, you're gonna get hate for it. And although that put me off a little bit, at the end of the day, it made me the person that I am today, and it also helped me get where I am, and for that, I will always be grateful. As a streamer though, I did feel a little stuck at some point. I think it was around the 30 to 40 average viewer mark when I realized that my channel wasn't really growing, but also I wasn't really enjoying it as much as I used to. Maybe this was because I was focusing a little too much on the numbers, or maybe this was just because my passion for going live 5 to 6 times a week when I was also working full time was just not possible anymore. But surprisingly, I got reached out to by a tournament organizer that was hosting a tournament at the time and asked me if I wanted to host. I said yes, and although I did, it might not have gone through, but this is what started and piqued my interest in becoming part of something bigger than just streaming on Twitch, and that is the competitive gaming, or the esports industry in particular. Now, when I was on Twitch, all I really did was the little Twitch influencer bubble where it was streaming my video games and posting my clips on TikTok, trying to make it. But I never really saw the bigger picture in terms of what gaming actually is and could be for a lot of other people. It's not just going on Twitch and streaming my gameplay, but it's having the chance to look at people who have literally perfected it to the T and are playing games competitively for a living. I knew that I wasn't gonna be one of those because God knows my abilities on pain ain't that great. But there was another subset of skills that were needed and that are part of this ecosystem, and that was on-air talent. Finding this niche or finding this role by accident had opened my eyes to a potential different career than just sitting in front of my laptop all day, writing emails, being in meetings, having client discussions, preparing presentations. Because trust me, as a consultant, all you really do is sit there and perfect your presentations and your presentation skills. There is really nothing else going on in that job, and it is soul sucking. Because at the end of the day, you realize that all you're doing is just making some middle-aged white guy a little bit more money. Yeah, that's all I was doing. And being completely honest, getting into this esports hosting career not only fueled me with passion and a drive to succeed in something else, but it also really made me live a life that I was never able to live myself. As I mentioned, I moved around a lot, and that also kind of meant that financially a lot of things were impossible. But being part of esports and having that on top of my 9-to-5 job has allowed me to travel the world. And I'm not saying that I traveled the world because I went on holidays, but like, bro, I literally went to Brazil for esports. I don't know how many people can say that they went to Brazil for their job, but I can. I did. Hosting my first event was really interesting. It was online. It was a 3-day event. It was multiple titles. And that was really when I realized that I potentially had a talent for something, which was weird because I never really thought that I was talented at anything. I was always the kid who was really smart at school, but like, bro, anything that involved arts and crafts, I could make a stick man look disabled. That's how terrible I am at drawing. When it came to musical shit, not for me. Anything athletic, bro, I look like Slender Man for a reason. So being good at something particularly made me feel like really great and accomplished, because I was like, oh my god, like I got that, I did that. And it made me feel a different form of acceptance of self and self-love. So I continued pursuing that because it just felt right. In 2023, that was the year when my career really popped off, and that's when I started doing international events. Started off particularly with Blast hosting their R6 major in Copenhagen, and then it spiraled from there, where I ended the year working League of its Own for Red Bull, where I literally got to see Faker. Didn't get to take a picture, but I was there. Okay, that's all that matters. And now we're in 2024. I moved to Berlin all by myself with my 2 cats. One of them is sleeping right there. And what I'm doing here is trying to quote unquote make it. First, for me also meant that my confidence went up. Growing up, I never really felt like I could do what I'm doing today. Like the idea of sitting in front of a camera and talking or presenting to thousands of people was like out of this world. But here I am. And I'm doing it every single day. And to a lot of us in the esports industry, esports does mean confidence. Getting that job in the industry, as hard as it might be, it is a confidence boost, because you know that for every person who makes it, there are so many who unfortunately didn't, and it is a valid form of self-validation because you are good enough to be here, and it is a cutthroat industry. Coming further also helped me find a passion, and it helped me find something that I'm good at. I think in life, a lot of us strive to find something that we're good at, or something that can be our life goal, our career goal, our definition, our legacy that we're going to leave behind. And I'm not necessarily saying that esports and gaming is going to be a legacy or something that I'm going to leave behind, but what I am saying is that it has helped me found something that I want to pursue. It has helped me found a passion, and if anything, it has helped me quit the 9-to-5 soul-sucking career that I was having. That doesn't mean that I will never go back to consulting, or I'll never go back to 9-to-5, or I think 9-to-5s are a waste of time. No, that's where I got my start, and that is the main reason why I am where I am today. Financial help from that 9-to-5, the ability, the skills that I have learned there have all been transferable to esports. But esports itself is the reason why I am where I am today, why I am located in Berlin, why I am doing the things that I'm doing, why I'm dressed the way that I'm dressed, why I have this chonker that I built myself. So the purpose of this video is to highlight that when it comes to gaming, to a lot of people, it could be considered something negative. It's potentially just an industry that is quote unquote dying, that doesn't appreciate your efforts, or you're just wasting your time behind your screen looking at pixels. But in reality, for a lot of us, gaming and esports in general is something that gives us motivation. It gives us something to look and work forward to. It gives us, a lot of us, and potentially me when I was a little younger, a reason to get out of bed in the morning. It also helps those of us who potentially don't have the best social skills, or even some of us who really do, find a connection with people that have similar and like-minded interests. And that is something that in this day and age is so peculiar and important, because at the end of the day, there is such a big disconnect between people and their communities. And if anything, the gaming communities are so tight, and they are literally ride or dies, and that is something that is absolutely invaluable. And that is esports for me. It's community, it's passion, it's a goal in life. So whenever we're sitting here thinking of why do people even bother working in esports, to 99.9% of us, it's not a job, it's a passion, it's gonna be so cheesy, it's a lifestyle. It's something that we live, love, breathe every single day. And just because maybe at the moment it's not going the way that we wanted or expected it to, that doesn't mean that all these talented and incredible and amazing people shouldn't be celebrated.